Module 1, an overview of NOAA education. Welcome to the first in a series of recorded presentations intended to give an overview of NOAA's educational enterprise. This first presentation will briefly describe NOAA, the various parts of NOAA that contribute to its educational activities and programs, and the role the Education Council plays in guiding education at and by NOAA. Science, stewardship, and service. These three words are shorthand for NOAA's mission to understand and predict changes in climate, weather, oceans, and coasts, share that knowledge and information with others, and conserve and manage coastal and marine ecosystems and resources. From daily weather forecasts, severe storm warnings, and climate monitoring to fisheries management, coastal restoration, and supporting marine commerce, NOAA's products and services support the economic vitality of our nation. NOAA scientists and other personnel use cutting-edge research and high-tech instrumentation to provide citizens, planners, emergency managers, and other decision-makers with reliable information they need when they need it. NOAA is part of the U.S. Department of Commerce, which is one of the 16 members of the President's Cabinet. It is one bureau among many, which include the U.S. Census Bureau, the National Institutes of Standards and Technology, U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Minority Business Development Administration, International Trade Administration, the Bureau of Industry and Security, and others. NOAA was created by an executive order of President Richard Nixon in the early 1970s. However, many parts of NOAA were established long before they were combined into the agency we have today. The oldest parts of our agency include the Office of Coast Survey, which was established by President Thomas Jefferson in 1807, the United States Weather Bureau, predecessor to the National Weather Service, was established in 1870, and the United States Commission of Fish and Fisheries, predecessor to NOAA Fisheries, established in 1871. To learn more about the history of NOAA, please visit www.history.noaa.gov. NOAA is organized into 6 offices, often referred to as line offices. These offices are represented by the gray boxes along the bottom of this chart. Additionally, several staff and corporate offices, the blue boxes under Deputy Undersecretary for Operations on the right side of the chart, support the NOAA administrator and the overall administration of the agency. Additionally, several assistant secretaries, the chief scientist, the federal coordinator for meteorology, and other staff shape and direct policies that guide the agency's work. Collectively, all of these offices and their people ensure our nation's citizens have the most scientifically sound, timely, and relevant information about local weather, the climate, the ocean, and our nation's coast and the Great Lakes. The 6 line offices are where the day-to-day operations in support of NOAA's mission take place. These offices are the National Environmental Satellite Data and Information Service, the National Marine Fisheries Service, the National Ocean Service, the National Weather Service, the Office of Oceanic and Atmospheric Research, and the Office of Marine and Aviation Operations. In terms of NOAA's education mission, each of these line offices contributes personnel, programs, and funds. Some include several programs with their own education mandates that existed before NOAA was created. Other programs were more recently created as new scientific areas emerged and became part of NOAA's mandate, such as deep-sea exploration and coral reef conservation. The Office of Education is one of the administrator's staff offices. In general, staff offices exist to coordinate policy and serve as interagency liaisons, but they do not run programs. However, while the Office of Education fulfills those roles, this office also manages education programs like many of the line offices. Climate, weather, ocean and coast, fisheries, satellites, research, charting, marine and aviation operations, and national marine sanctuaries represent the 9 most publicly recognized areas where NOAA works. NOAA has a vested interest in supporting and building a science-informed society, and education plays an important role in supporting NOAA's mission in these and other areas. The systems NOAA observes not only influence many aspects of our lives, but also have the capacity to inspire and empower. Whether working as a maritime professional or checking the daily weather forecast, people benefit from accessing and understanding the information that NOAA provides. This relationship is a two-way street. Resource management, planning, and responding to hazards benefit from the two-way engagement between NOAA and the stakeholders we serve. NOAA education supports the building of these relationships and is therefore built into the fabric of our agency. The following slides are meant to provide a brief overview of NOAA education, including our mission and vision and the Education Council. Education plays a vital role in supporting NOAA's mission. NOAA's mission is to understand and predict changes in climate, weather, oceans, and coasts, and to share that knowledge and information with others, and to conserve and manage coastal and marine ecosystems and resources. NOAA Education supports this mission by providing a variety of educational opportunities to share information, respond to weather threats, create and sustain a diverse and highly skilled future workforce, and engage in a variety of audiences and stewardship activities. In 2007, the America Competes Act gave NOAA broad authority to implement and support a broad range of educational activities. The act was reauthorized in 2010. The America Competes Act complements standing mandates that authorize education in NOAA's programs, such as the National Marine Sanctuary System, the National Sea Grant College Program, and the National Estuarine Research Reserve System. These statutes acknowledge the importance of education in fulfilling the distinct laws that NOAA executes, while the America Competes Act provides a unifying mandate for educational activities across the agency. As mandated in the America Competes Act, and to guide our work, the NOAA education community developed and implemented a strategic plan that focuses on critical goals and objectives, such as a science-informed society and workforce development. The strategic plan is a living document and is updated every 5 years to ensure continuous progress. You will learn more about the strategic plan, our goals, and how we communicate progress later in this module. The NOAA education vision is to help support an informed society that uses ocean, coastal, Great Lakes, weather, and climate science to make the best social, economic, and environmental decisions. In order to facilitate this vision, the mission of NOAA education is to educate and inspire the nation to use science toward improving ocean and coastal stewardship, increasing safety and resilience, and preparing a future workforce to support NOAA's mission. NOAA education employees use a few different strategies to advance the agency's mission through education. These include providing support for formal and informal education, grants, outreach for K-12, post-secondary and the general public, scholarships and fellowships for students pursuing NOAA mission-related fields, and partnering with key organizations for greater impact. The NOAA Education Council serves as a forum for discussion, coordination, and monitoring of education activities and priorities across NOAA's major education programs. The Education Council was formed in 2003 on a recommendation from the NOAA Science Advisory Board Subcommittee on Education, who recognized an increasing need for a formal, internal education council. The body serves as a forum for discussion, coordination, and monitoring of education activities and priorities across NOAA. The primary responsibility is to increase agency-wide coordination of education, discuss best practices, ideas, and proposals, and to make recommendations to NOAA leadership on all aspects of NOAA's educational activities. The NOAA Education Council consists of 16 senior staff members that lead sustained, significant education and outreach activities and programs. The members are located around the country from NOAA's line, program, and staff offices. The Council is chaired by the Director of NOAA Education and vice-chaired by the Deputy Director of the Office of Education. The Office of Education organizes the Council and serves as the Executive Secretariat. Council membership includes an at-large member from Satellites, Fisheries, Research, Weather Service, and Ocean Service. In addition to line and staff offices, the Council includes special representation from offices and programs whose education activities are specifically authorized by statute, such as the National Marine Sanctuaries Program and Sea Grant, as well as advisors from NOAA Budget, Library, Legislative Affairs, and the Chief Administrative Office. Education outreach are considered an essential aspect of achieving NOAA's mission, which calls for an engaged and educated public with the capacity to make scientifically informed environmental decisions, and the Council is the primary NOAA group responsible for achieving this goal. To meet these responsibilities, the Council meets monthly with presentations from members and working groups, field educators, and external partners about new and ongoing education efforts. Another key function of the Council is to help NOAA field educators around the country at various sanctuaries, near sites, and more stay connected with the efforts of NOAA education. It is critical that educators be well-versed in all NOAA activities in order to more effectively facilitate their own programs. Finally, the Council works to determine how best to reach our audiences to advance NOAA's missions goals. In addition to the NOAA-wide strategic plan, the Council is instrumental in developing the NOAA Education Strategic and Implementation Plans, which set goals and objectives for increasing our efforts in the 5 areas of a science-informed society, conservation and stewardship, safety and preparedness, workforce development, and organizational excellence. The Council is also responsible for developing and tracking performance metrics for NOAA-wide education and monitoring evidence of progress towards these goals. You will learn more about the Education Strategic and Implementation Plans in Module 2. Module 2 provides in-depth descriptions of the Education Strategic Plan and Implementation Plan and how we monitor progress towards the goals and objectives of those plans. Module 3 contains information about education programs and resources in NOAA satellites, National Weather Service, and NOAA fisheries, including the Teacher at Sea program. Module 4 focuses on the National Ocean Service, including the Office of Coastal Management, Office of the National Marine Sanctuaries, and the National Estuarine Research Reserve System. Watch Module 5 to learn more about the education programs and resources offered through the Office of Oceanic and Atmospheric Research, including the Climate Program, Sea Grant, and Ocean Exploration and Research. Module 6 focuses on 3 programs with agency-wide implementation: VWET, Ocean Acidification, and Ocean and Climate Literacy. And Module 7 describes the programs and offerings of the agency's Office of Education, including Hollings Scholarships, the Environmental Literacy Program, the Educational Partnership Program, and NOAA Outreach. Please take a few moments to fill out a survey regarding this module. We welcome suggestions for improving this presentation. The link is available on the YouTube page for this video presentation and can be used for any of the NOAA education modules.